If you're watching this video, chances are you probably have a low baseline level of dopamine. And for that reason, you probably lack motivation, have low energy, and find yourself in a spiral of vices and addictions that are horrible for your mental health. But not only is it horrible for your mental health, but also your productivity. So in order to feel like our most mentally positive and productive self, we have to increase our baseline levels of dopamine. But the question is, how do we do that? So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you how I keep my baseline levels of dopamine normal while also naturally increasing it. So pay attention, this could possibly change your life. Now, what happens when you artificially increase your dopamine levels through vices, addictions? Well, in the short term, it's gonna feel good. However, here's a rule of life you need to follow. Anything that feels good in the short term is more than likely bad for you long term. And for that reason, you'll have spikes in your dopamine levels, but eventually it will fall not only to baseline, but actually below it. And as I said before, this is gonna cause mental health issues, a lack of energy, overall just a negative outlook on life. And you'll actually find that you'll have no motivation to do the things that you want to do or need to do or even actually used to enjoy doing. Me personally, I had this prime example with marijuana use. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal. However, if you guys don't know, marijuana spikes your dopamine by a ton. So whenever you use it consistently for a long periods of time, you'll find that you'll start to lack enjoyment and overall just motivation towards the things that used to be fun for you, or even you can't do it without the vice or addiction itself. Now, the first step of this routine is to protect our baseline dopamine levels by reducing cheap spikes of dopamine. And we're gonna do this through the all popular dopamine detox. But essentially what we're gonna focus on is reducing our screen time and social media usage. Think of TikTok and Instagram. Also, no porn, drugs, or alcohol, or sugary foods of any sort. Remember, diet is also a critical component in this, and that's often an overlooked aspect of the dopamine detox. And lastly, guys, sorry, no video games. At the end of the video, we're gonna talk about a way that you can actually implement this stuff in an effective way that won't spike your dopamine levels. But for right now, just try to avoid it. Luckily, GTA 6 hasn't came out yet, so we're good. Now, what we really want is our dopamine spikes to come from the productive work that we're doing, or other natural ways that I'm about to talk about. So here's the full routine. The full routine actually starts the night before. You guys need to get 7 to 8 hours of good, restful sleep, meaning that you got good hours of deep sleep alongside with REM sleep. You guys know, I use an Oura Ring to track my sleep every single night. And through learning my own sleep metrics, that's how I've personally found what time I should go to bed, what time is effective for me to wake up, and overall how my sleep is doing and progressing week after week. Now, the reason we need and want good sleep a part of this routine is because sleep almost works as a reset. There's been times where I've had a horrible day before in terms of vices, addictions, overall I just feel horrible, low mood. But a good sleep can actually reset you. Now, it's not gonna return to baseline levels of dopamine the next day, but it'll be pretty close to it. Now, here's another thing you have to do. Whenever you wake up, no screens or no music. Once again, I used to do this a lot, more so with social media, checking my notifications, checking my texts, or maybe even waking up to music as I brush my teeth. Guys, we do not want to spike our dopamine levels first thing in the morning upon awakening. I know it's a hard habit to break, but this will literally create the foundation of your whole entire day. Think of using social media in the morning as literally taking a hit of weed in the morning. You know how some people say like wake and bake? Like, I've never understood that. The fact that you purposely wake up to spike your dopamine levels, and now you're in this spiral of not focusing or needing dopamine in order to do things is absolutely horrible for you. So the best way to avoid this, like I said, wake up with no screens and get straight into whatever routine that you may have. Now, up next is a cold shower. Now, the cold shower is a part of a lot of people's morning routines, and that's because it's natural benefits of increasing dopamine levels. However, me, myself, I've tested this multiple times. And though it does actually work, like whenever you get out of a cold shower or an ice bath, trust me, bro, your energy is gonna be high, dopamine levels are gonna be high. You're gonna feel like you're ready to tackle on the day. Me and my melanated skin are not one with cold things. It came to a point where I was actually not looking forward to waking up because I knew I had to take a cold shower. So for that reason, I found an alternative, and that is literally just ice rolling my face. Kind of not the same thing, but kind of the same thing at the same time. I still kind of get the same effects except for it just not being miserable. So you can try this out, but cold showers have been an effective way to naturally increase your dopamine levels. Now, the next part of the routine is the focus primer or natural dopamine enhancers. So we woken up, cold shower, no screens, no music. Up next, we're either going to do some form of meditation, walking outside in nature with no music, just you and your thoughts, getting some sunlight, or a combination of all these activities in one. If you guys don't know by now, this is amazing for your mental health. Me personally, I've done all variations of this. I used to wake up in the morning and walk 2.5 miles whenever I was on my cut phase. I did that for a long time. Nowadays, I wake up and I'll read a book for about 30 minutes. And then afterwards, I'll go get some sunlight, walk in nature for about 10 minutes or so, then come back in and do my work. So today we've been talking about how to boost your dopamine levels naturally for a more productive and fulfilling life. Along with lifestyle changes like regular meditation, reducing vices, and even exercising, it's vital that we also address our mental and emotional well-being. This brings us to our sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that's not only convenient, but aligns perfectly with everything we've discussed today. You see, engaging in therapy can also help release dopamine as you make breakthroughs and find solutions to life's challenges. Starting with BetterHelp is as simple as answering a few questions online. In just a few days, you'll be connected with a licensed therapist tailored to your personal needs. Whether it's stress, anxiety, or just the everyday obstacles we all face, BetterHelp's professionals are there to help lift that weight off your shoulders. Now, I know the journey of personal growth isn't just physical, but is also deeply mental. That's exactly why I've partnered with BetterHelp, because it offers a space to unload those burdens with confidential therapy sessions that can fit into even the busiest schedules. Remember, seeking help is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a step towards empowerment, and is done from the comfort of your own home, which we all can appreciate at this time. So if you're feeling stuck, or if you're riding solo on this road to self-improvement, perhaps it's time to try something different. BetterHelp could be that positive source of dopamine you've been looking for. So why not give it a shot? You can visit my link, www.betterhelp.com/AustinDunham for 10% off your first month. Join me and a community of others who are on a path to a healthier mind and a happier life. Let's keep building not just a stronger body, but also a stronger mind. Once again, betterhelp.com/AustinDunham, and I'll leave a link down below this video. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, but supplements can actually naturally help produce more dopamine in your body also. And there are two main ones that I take. The first one is L-tyrosine. Now, you probably have heard about this or seen this. It's actually probably in the pre-workout you take. Now, L-tyrosine is just an amino acid, and your body uses L-tyrosine to make several important substances, including dopamine. Now, once you take it, L-tyrosine goes through a series of chemical changes. One of the key steps is when it's converted into another substance called L-dopa. L-dopa is then converted into dopamine. Basically, L-tyrosine helps ensure that your body has enough necessary materials to produce dopamine, potentially helping to improve mood, cognition, and alertness. Now, like most amino acids and minerals, L-tyrosine can also be found in food. However, supplementation can give you that needed boost. Now, me personally, a part of my routine, I usually take it on an empty stomach in the morning alongside with vitamin D. Now, let's talk about the second supplement that can help increase dopamine, and that is America's favorite drug of choice, caffeine. And there's a reason why so many people use it daily to help increase energy and alertness. Now, caffeine helps enhance dopamine signaling to the brain. Now, that's exactly why so many people use it, usually before working out or even before any work they have to do. And if you combine this with L-tyrosine, it can have amazing effects. But do remember, caffeine is addictive, and if taken late in the day, actually ruin your sleep. So for that reason, I limit myself to 1 serving a day, usually before 3 p.m. and no more than 300 milligrams. Now, the next part of the routine is how we can use our new dopamine baseline to actually be more productive. And this is where we're gonna see like the real results from our dopamine detox. So every day, you wanna make sure that you have at least a 2 to 4 hour deep work session. Now, what is deep work? Popularized by Cal Newport, shout out to him, amazing book by the way, is the fact that you want to be able to focus on a cognitive demanding task with no distractions. So no cell phones, no social media usage, you're not checking emails, like literally all your attention is focused on one particular thing that you're trying to accomplish. This can be studying, this can be research work, this can be things for your business. Pretty much any work that you know you have to get done that's gonna make a big impact in your life. And since our focus is primed from the earlier steps in the routine and our baseline level of dopamine is higher, we'll actually feel good about this and want to produce work within this time period. Whereas before, like I said, we had no motivation to do so, we had no energy, and for that reason, we probably didn't get a lot of work done. Now, another amazing natural way that should be included in your daily routine is some sort of exercise. Exercise in itself, whether it be lifting weights, calisthenics, conditioning or cardio work, or even just walking to some degree can actually be a positive impact on our dopamine levels, and it's completely natural. A lot of people go into the gym for a particular purpose, you know, build muscle, lose fat, whatever it may be. But even if you're just maintaining, even if you don't have any strict goals towards your physique or body, you should still be doing some sort of workout or exercise on a daily basis, just so mentally you can feel like your best self. Now pair that with music, another natural dopamine enhancer, and you have an amazing session. Now you actually want to treat music the best way in terms of working out. And here's the way that I started doing it. I'll bring my phone to the gym, I'll play music, but then I'll just keep my phone in my gym bag. I won't skip songs, I won't be checking social media as I'm exercising. Like literally just listen to music and let the songs play all the way through. A lot of you guys ruin your dopamine systems by skipping songs constantly or maybe rewinding songs. Pro tip, just let the song play all the way through and don't touch your phone when you're working out. Now we made it to the evening part of the dopamine detox routine. Now instead of just scrolling social media, here's what you should do instead to wind down. Either go out on a walk around the neighborhood, you know, talk to some people, or maybe call your family, whatever it may be, you know, something social, or even read a book. I know me, for example, I usually read in the morning, but sometimes, you know, if I have the time, I'll tell myself I'll read 10 pages in the evening before I completely wind down for the day. Pair that with going outside, getting some more sunlight, you know, talking to people, as I said. Now that would be the perfect evening routine that isn't gonna spike your dopamine like crazy, like scrolling TikTok for hours. Now, one thing I did mention is how you can actually include some of these vices that you may have, because let's keep it real, everybody has some degree of vices. Now the thing is, you want to backload that dopamine after the whole entire day is done. Think of it as dessert. You know how you eat your main course, you know, you're full, you're satisfied. However, sometimes you might get a sweet treat. But the thing about this is that you still want to limit yourself. You don't want to just mindlessly doom scroll for the next 3 hours. Maybe give yourself a time limit or a time block. For the next 30 minutes or hour, I'm going to check social media. For the next, you know, hour, I'm going to scroll TikTok, wherever it may be. You can only do this at night after you've productively completed the whole entire day without distractions and following this dopamine detox like this. It should be treated as a reward, because I believe you still have to have balance in everything that you do. You can go crazy with the dopamine detox and have no social media for a week, only to find yourself going back to the same habits that you were doing before. So with this strategy, you can still enjoy the spikes in cheap dopamine. However, it's strategically placed so that it doesn't ruin your baseline levels of dopamine. Now, if you actually follow this routine, here are some things that you're gonna notice almost immediately. Number one is the fact that you're simply just gonna be more productive, and for that reason, you're probably gonna make more money. Second, you're gonna find more enjoyment in the things that used to be boring to you. Before, you didn't even wanna play video games. Now you actually look forward to having fun. Now you actually look forward to working. Now you actually look forward to going to the gym. And lastly, you're gonna have a better mood and just overall outlook on life. And that's gonna affect all areas of your life. Physical, and as I said before, mental too. And I promise you, if you follow this routine for only 1 day, you will notice a difference. Don't forget to check out BetterHelp. I'll leave the link down below in the description if you want 10% off your first month of online therapy. My name is Austin Dunham. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.